We live in extraordinary times. We are surrounded by more species of animals and plants than there's probably ever existed at any one time in the history of the Earth. For nearly 50 years I've been lucky enough to spend my time traveling around the Earth, documenting those animals and those plants. But it's now increasingly apparent that one species, our own, has developed the unique ability of so altering its surroundings that it can incorporate whole species, indeed whole environments. It is a standing fact that over the last 2 to 3 centuries, our own species has evolved at an alarming rate. From inventing the wheel to building the pyramids and the Great Wall, to shortening the time it takes for us to travel across the globe. At first glance, one would think that humankind has reached the pinnacle of evolution, but there are plenty of indications that nothing can be further from the truth. There is one recently discovered subspecies of creatures that has mastered the art of traveling around the world. They annually flock to hotel conferences on the most varied of places, and do so in large numbers. They are called furries. Birmingham, United Kingdom. We recently had the opportunity to study these creatures in their natural habitat. A study that shows that, just like all animals, furries too come in all shapes and sizes. Surprisingly, almost all of the species from the animal kingdom are represented here, predators and prey alike. And where some are represented more than others, say foxes or huskies, most are simply unique. Being seen or getting attention seems to be the one thing they all crave, a behavior that is seen on a daily basis. This is evident by some sprouting horns, having huge grins, and even having oversized noses. Everyone is considered special in their own way. Their daily routine consists of numerous things, from walking around aimlessly to dancing until the early hours. Their lives revolve mostly about being active. And while some do not show much movement, there are always those that find moving an inch is already too much. As in the animal kingdom, stereotypes here too apply to most species. The difference being that those that we see as animal-like are not necessarily connected to the right species, debunking, for instance, that only cats like boxes. There are, however, things that never change, as everyone seems to be on the hunt for foxes. We now believe that these creatures have a universal greeting, one that is accepted by most, but seems to be shunned by some: the hug. This physical closeness is an apparent sign of affection, a long, sturdy embrace that seems to not only transfer heat, but may also be used to transfer scent. These hugs, like the ones giving them, come in all shapes and sizes, where some end in mere seconds, others seem to last for minutes. The hug can at times come across as more than friendly, affection turning into intimacy. This might also prove the hypothesis that fleshy lights adorning fur is part of their mating ritual. While most of the mating happens in private, away from the prying eyes of predators and people in general, there are some that do not shun and one might even say they thrive, in the fact that they are being seen. A mating display, as it were, that can go both ways, being dominating, submissive, or when they end up getting more than they bargained for. In the end, these creatures can be compared to humankind, with the possible exception that religion, for the most part, does not play a major role in everyday life. But, just as before, there are exceptions to this too, as moments of worship and reverence have been documented. Here we see for a brief moment that all personal attention is intensified as the so-called camera god appears, coaxing the lens their way by offering gifts and waving their arms. And some try to gain favor by using other means. A healthy diet makes for a healthy furry. While not all furries partake, most flutter to alcohol like a bumblebee to a pollinated flower. Some drink casually, while others are known to slightly overdo it. Alternatively, one could try LSD. We were cordially invited to come see what happens at a so-called room party. But unfortunately, we ran out of time to show you today, so our visit there will be the topic when next we visit the natural world.